As we stand at the beginning of 2025, we are presented with an opportunity to reset, refocus, and recalibrate our lives. The world around us is constantly moving, and life often feels like a whirlwind of distractions, goals, and responsibilities. Yet, at the heart of it all lies a timeless teaching: the power of living in the present moment. In his influential work, The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle invites us to step outside the chatter of our minds and embrace the only true moment we have, the now. But how can we practically apply this powerful teaching in a world that demands more of us each day? How can we truly live in the now in 2025? This year, 2025, presents a unique opportunity for those of us who have struggled to live mindfully and fully embrace the present. It's already here. But how can we break free from the mental patterns that keep us stuck in the past or anxious about the future? In this script, we'll explore how we can begin to take Eckhart Tolle's teachings and apply them to our lives right now. Here, we'll look at practical ways to stop the endless cycle of thinking and start truly living in the present moment in 2025. The present moment is the only moment that exists. Imagine for a moment that there is no past, no future, only now. It sounds simple, yet it is one of the most challenging ideas to grasp in our busy, fast-pacing world. Most of us spend the majority of our time either dwelling on what has already happened or worrying about what is yet to come. The present moment often feels elusive, slipping through our fingers like sand. In 2025, how can we make the present moment our anchor? When we talk about the now, we're not referring to some abstract or distant concept. We're talking about our immediate experience in this very moment. The air on our skin, the sounds around us, the sensations in our body, and the thoughts that arise. All of this is happening in the now, and it is the only thing that truly exists. The past is a memory, and the future is a projection, both of which are mere illusions. In the first place, there is no such thing as the past. The only thing is the present, both of which are mere illusions. Yet, it's so easy to get swept away in them, especially in today's world. The constant influx of information, the pressure to perform, and the future-oriented goals keep us from fully experiencing the present. Turn your attention away from sensory data and toward a sense of well-being. Eckhart Tolle teaches that true peace and joy can only be found when we stop mentally escaping the present moment. He calls this the mind-made prison. For many, the mind is a noisy neighbor, constantly talking about what happened yesterday or what might happen tomorrow. These thoughts are not bad in themselves, but when we let them dominate our lives, we lose touch with the only real moment, the now. In 2025, let's commit to breaking free from this prison of the mind. Let's aim to stop the continuous cycle of thinking about the past or future, and instead, begin to embrace the now. This may sound easier said than done, but the beauty of the now is that it is always here, waiting for us. We simply need to stop and notice it. The first step in truly living in the now is awareness. Becoming aware of the present moment requires us to shift our attention from our thoughts to our direct experience. In other words, we need to stop identifying with the mind and instead observe it. This is where the practice of mindfulness comes in, paying attention to the sights, sounds, feelings, and sensations around us without judgment or attachment. But becoming aware is only part of the equation. The next step is acceptance. The truth is, we often resist the present moment because it doesn't always align with our expectations or desires. We may wish for things to be different, for a situation to change, or for the future to unfold in a specific way. When we resist the present moment, we create internal conflict. As Eckhart Tolle points out, whatever you think the world is withholding from you, you are withholding from the world. In 2025, we have the opportunity to let go of this resistance. When we accept the present moment as it is, without judgment, without wishing it were different, we allow ourselves to experience the peace that is already available. This doesn't mean we become passive or give up on goals. It simply means that we stop fighting against what is. We accept the moment as it is, and from this place of acceptance, we can respond more mindfully. Start by taking moments throughout your day to pause and check in with yourself. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and simply observe. What is happening in this moment? Feel the sensations in your body. Notice the sounds around you. Acknowledge any thoughts or feelings that arise without getting attached to them. This simple practice of awareness and acceptance is the foundation of living in the now. Step 2. Eckhart Tolle emphasizes the importance of being able to dissolve the past and the future. The key is to realize that past events no longer exist. They are simply memories stored in our minds. Similarly, the future hasn't happened yet and is based entirely on our imagination. Neither the past nor the future have any true existence in the present moment. Yet, we allow these mental constructions to dominate our attention. And the practice of presence invites us to gently bring our focus back to the now whenever we find ourselves lost in the past or future. When you notice that your mind has wandered, simply acknowledge it and then return your attention to the present moment. This could mean paying attention to your breathing, the sensation of your feet on the ground, or the sounds in your environment. In 2025, let's commit to breaking free from the grip of the past and future. Every time we catch ourselves in mental patterns that take us out of the now, let's choose to return our focus to the present. By doing this, we free ourselves from the prison of time and open ourselves up to the richness of life as it unfolds. Step 3. Practicing presence in everyday activities. Living in the now doesn't mean we have to sit in silence all day or meditate for hours. Presence can be practiced in every moment of our lives. Whether we're eating, walking, talking, or working, we can choose to be fully present. For example, when eating, instead of rushing through your meal while checking your phone or thinking about something else, slow down and truly savor each bite. Notice the taste, texture, and aroma of the food. Feel the sensation of eating and drinking. This simple practice of mindful eating can bring a sense of peace and presence to an activity that many of us rush through mindlessly. Similarly, when walking, instead of being lost in your thoughts, notice the sensation of your feet touching the ground, the rhythm of your breath, and the sights around you. Walking is a perfect opportunity to practice being present and reconnect with your body and the world around you. In 2025, let's commit to making every activity an opportunity for presence. Whether it's a simple task or a more complex one, we can infuse it with mindfulness and awareness. By doing so, we begin to experience life more fully and realize that the now is not just a fleeting moment, it is a constant, living presence that we can tap into at any time. As we've seen, the journey of truly living in the now is not an abstract concept, but a practical, grounded experience. It requires a shift in how we approach each moment. And as 2025 begins, there's no better time to start than now. The core of Eckhart Tolle's teachings revolves around the power of presence, and by tapping into this power, we can begin to experience life in a deeper, more fulfilling way. Yet, the path to living in the now is not always easy. Our minds have a tendency to wander, and distractions are everywhere. The good news is that it's not about perfecting our presence, but about practicing it consistently. It's a lifelong journey of awareness, acceptance, and presence. and that's where the true transformation begins. But how can we continue this practice beyond a brief moment of mindfulness? How can we sustain a state of presence in the face of daily challenges and distractions? And what does it mean to truly live in the now, rather than just experience fleeting moments of it? As we move forward in this journey together, we'll explore some of the practical ways to integrate the power of presence into our daily lives, and how to keep that connection to the now alive throughout 2025 and beyond. As we move forward into 2025, it's vital to recognize that living in the present moment is not a one-time fix. It's a continuous, mindful practice. In the first part, we explored the foundational concept of the present moment and how easily we can get trapped in the cycle of distractions, worries, and mindless habits. But now, let's dive deeper into actionable steps that can help us stay anchored in the now on a day-to-day basis. One of the most significant aspects of truly living in the present is learning how to quiet the mind. Eckhart Tolle often speaks of the voice in your head, the mental chatter that constantly plays in the background. This internal noise can be a major obstacle to presence. It's the voice that tells you that you should be somewhere else, doing something else, or that you're not good enough. It's the voice that fills your head with endless thoughts about the past or future. To truly live in the now, we must understand that we are not our thoughts. You are the observer of those thoughts. In 2025, the more you begin to separate yourself from your thoughts, the more space you'll create for peace and presence. A simple practice that Eckhart Tolle suggests is to notice when your mind starts to drift into unnecessary thinking. When this happens, gently bring your attention back to the present. You can do this by focusing on your breath, on the sensations in your body, or by simply noticing what's happening around you, whether it's the sounds, sights, or even the feeling of the ground beneath your feet. This shift from identifying with your thoughts to observing them creates the mental space required for true presence. It's about learning to silence the inner noise, not by force, but through a natural process of awareness. Every time you catch your mind wandering and bring it back to the moment, you're strengthening your ability to live in the now, no matter the circumstances. However, for most people, life is far from perfect. It's a process naturally created to make us feel more true and ready to live in the now. Another essential practice is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of being fully engaged in whatever you're doing, no matter how small or mundane. Whether you're eating, walking, or simply having a conversation, mindfulness encourages you to direct your complete attention to the task at hand. Most of us go through the motions of our daily activities while our minds are preoccupied with worries or distractions. In 2025, it's time to shift that pattern. Start by paying attention to the details, the taste, the textures, the sounds, the feelings. This helps you stay present and connected to the moment. You might be thinking, but I have so much to do in 2025. How can I possibly stay mindful with everything on my plate? The truth is, mindfulness doesn't require more time. It only requires more presence. You don't need extra hours in your day to practice being in the now. In fact, the more present you are in each moment, the more you will accomplish with less stress. When you give your full attention to the task you're doing, you're naturally more efficient and focused. This in turn helps you clear mental clutter and frees up time for the things that truly matter. But it's not just about how you spend your time, it's about how you experience your time. Instead of rushing through tasks, take a step back and notice the moments within each task. The beauty of living in the now is that it allows you to be fully aware of your surroundings and experiences, no matter how simple or routine they may seem. Now let's explore a deeper level of presence: surrender. One of Eckhart Tolle's core teachings is the concept of surrendering to the present moment. This doesn't mean giving up or resigning yourself to a life of passivity. Instead, surrender means letting go of resistance to what is. It's about accepting the flow of life without trying to control every detail. Resistance often arises when we don't like something in the present moment. We wish it were different, or we want to escape it. But this only creates tension and keeps us stuck in the past or future. Surrendering to the moment is about embracing what is, without judgment or resistance. This doesn't mean that you have to like everything that happens, but it does mean that you stop fighting against it. When you stop resisting, you open yourself up to a deeper sense of peace. Life becomes less of a struggle and more of an unfolding. In 2025, you can choose to surrender to the moment rather than fight it. But how do we surrender when life feels overwhelming? It begins with recognizing that every situation, no matter how difficult, is an opportunity for growth. In moments of stress or discomfort, take a deep breath and remind yourself that this moment too shall pass. Instead of wishing it away, ask yourself what lesson you can learn from it. What can you gain from this moment? This shift in mindset, from resistance to acceptance, creates an entirely new experience of life. In the next section, we'll explore how we can integrate these practices of presence into our relationships, work, and everyday activities. We'll also talk about how 2025 can be the year you truly unlock the power of living fully in the now, not just in moments of stillness, but in every aspect of your life. But before we get there, let's pause and take a moment for you to reflect on your own journey of presence so far. As we continue our journey into 2025, one of the most important aspects of living in the now is how we bring presence into our relationships, work, and daily activities. The practices we've discussed so far, mindfulness, surrender, and mental stillness, are foundational, but they truly come to life when integrated into the fabric of our everyday lives. Let's begin with relationships. In a world where communication is often instant and distracted, it's more important than ever to be fully present with the people in our lives. Whether you're interacting with a partner, a friend, a colleague, or even a stranger, being truly present means giving them your full attention, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. This means making eye contact, smiling, and responding to those around you kindly. Eckhart Tolle emphasizes the power of presence in relationships, as it allows you to connect with others on a deeper, more authentic level. When you're truly present with someone, you listen without judgment, without planning your next response. You simply hear them, see them, and allow them to be who they are in that moment. In 2025, try to practice this with everyone you encounter. Resist the urge to multitask or check your phone while speaking to someone. Give them your full attention. This can transform your relationships, creating stronger bonds and deeper connections. This practice of presence also extends to how we show up in our work and our productivity. In a fast-pacing world, it can be easy to get caught up in the rush to achieve, but true success comes when we are fully present in the process, not just the end result. When you're working, whether it's a project, a meeting, or a creative endeavor, focus all your energy on the task at hand. This doesn't mean being obsessed with perfection, but rather engaging fully with the present moment, even when the task may seem mundane or challenging. By practicing presence in your work, you'll notice that you become more efficient, creative, and less stressed. One of the key lessons from Eckhart Tolle is that the mind is often the source of our stress. We worry about the future, regret the past, or get caught in the cycle of doing more and more. But when we focus on the present moment, we free ourselves from this mental trap. In 2025, you can choose to shift from the mindset of doing to the mindset of being. Instead of thinking about what's next or what's been left undone, embrace the fullness of the task you're engaged in right now. This shift not only helps you to be more productive, but also allows you to find more joy and fulfillment in your work. A powerful way to integrate presence into your daily life is through the practice of stillness. In a world that demands constant movement, stillness can seem like a luxury, but it is one of the most effective tools for living in the now. Stillness doesn't mean doing nothing. It means creating space for yourself to simply be. It can be as simple as taking 5 minutes in the morning to sit in silence, breathe deeply, and center yourself. Or it could mean stepping away from your desk to take a quiet walk outside. By incorporating stillness into your day, you allow yourself to reconnect with the present moment and with your true self. I term stillness as a form of concentration, where you, awareness, concentrate and settle into the present. As we've explored, living in the now isn't about escaping life's challenges or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about learning to approach life with acceptance and presence, no matter what arises. In 2025, as you continue to practice presence, you'll begin to notice how it transforms your experience. You'll feel more connected to the world around you, more at peace with your thoughts and emotions, and more grounded in the flow of life. But it's not just about the big overarching practices. It's about the small, everyday moments where you can choose to be present. Each time you become aware of your thoughts, each time you catch yourself rushing or thinking ahead, you have an opportunity to return to the present. Every breath, every step, and every moment is a chance to come back to the now. In summary, living in the now is a continual practice that requires intention, awareness, and commitment. By incorporating practices like mindfulness, mental stillness, surrender, and presence into your relationships, work, and daily routines, you can truly experience the transformative power of the present moment in 2025. You don't need to wait for a perfect moment to begin. Each moment is perfect for starting your journey. The power of presence is always available to you, and it's in your hands to embrace it fully. Living in the now in 2025 is an ongoing journey of self-awareness, mental quietude, and intentional living. By applying the teachings of Eckhart Tolle and embracing the present moment, you can free yourself from unnecessary stress, distractions, and worries. From relationships to work, every aspect of life becomes richer, more fulfilling, and more peaceful when you choose to live in the now. As we move through 2025, remember that each moment offers an opportunity to return to presence, and in doing so, to unlock the peace and joy that lie within. If you want to continue on your journey of self-discovery in 2025, make sure to subscribe to this channel to ensure you're living more in the present moment. Reply with the word "now" in the comments if this message made sense to you, and if you want to continue growing in the future. Also, consider giving this video a like or sharing it with someone who might benefit from a gentle reminder to slow down in life and be more awake.